You're live.
Okay. Hello. Welcome to the YBNB show, Friday, business day. And as you know, our program is Your Body Means Business. So I like to mix it up and talk about business when I'm doing body and vice versa as well, because they're so interconnected. And the subject today is about, what you're learning. Not in terms of, are you on a college course or doing a qualification, but what are you learning in everyday life and everyday interactions? And why do I even ask that? Why does it even matter? If you finish school and you're happy with your career and, you're not intending to sort of change at the moment, why would it matter? Well, it really matters because that's how unique ideas come out, and that's how you build the life that you really want, and that's how you can make a difference eventually, and that's how we innovate as well. And so many people say to me that they're stuck, they're not particularly keen or happy on what it is that they're doing, but it's a job or it's a business, it earns the money and whatever. But when I ask them about their big goals, their vision, we call it the massive transformational purpose, we call it the moonshot, whatever you want to call it. So often people just don't know. They just don't know what they want. And that's why very often people do stagnate. So how do you work out what it is you want? Well, it's not an overnight thing, but you can come to that conclusion by just thinking about what you've learned that day. And so some examples I could give you. My own, where I am actually now, is always looking at what is going on in the market from when I was in recruitment. So I had a recruitment business in 2002 and was doing that very successfully for quite a few years. Got to about 2008, 2009. And as I think I've explained before in interviews, it was like the tap turned off when the financial crisis hit and there just was no demand. But it was only because I was keeping my eyes open, going to lots of things and learning what was going on, with, for example, Department of Work and Pensions and the sorts of initiatives they had to get professional people back into work. It was only because of that I found that there was a contract available, and then I applied for that contract, and then we won that contract and we got into this whole new sector. Same thing again when I was sort of observing that we had so many applications for young people, and these young people were they had no opportunities. And so when I sort of was reading the news and realised there was this thing called apprenticeships back in, I think it was 2013, I realised that this was a massive opportunity for young people. I don't think it necessarily is now because it's been rebranded, but at the time it really was. So that's just two little examples of how if you really take notice of what's going on around you, you can start to join up the dots and connect it to yourself. And in the end, with all these little things that you learn, they create a puzzle, which is really your take on the world. And when people say to me, wow, how did you know, for example, that fitness was going to be such a big thing? Because I launched this program, Your Body Means Business, in 2018 in House of Commons. And, no one was really thinking about midlife professionals. No one was thinking about longevity, immune systems. But I could just sort of see that we were turning a corner in terms of people's expectations of what they wanted to be doing with their life, and the fact that people just didn't want to be finished at sort of 65 and stop stop with their career. So I could see that in 2018, but it wasn't because I had a crystal ball. It was really more because I've been taking notice of what was going on and learning stuff every day. So how can you sort of put a mechanism around that to make sure it happens? Because obviously you can do it easily just by being more aware. You can think about yesterday, what did you read, what did you watch, who did you meet, who did you talk to, was there anything, what was the one thing that you learned, just so you could write it down? That's one sort of informal way of doing it. But another way is you can put a structure around it. And I've talked to you before about the PESTLE method, PESTLE standing for political, what's going on with politics, economics, what's happening in the economy, sociological, so how people changing socially, what the feelings and culture, what is trending at the moment, technological, what's happening with technology, obviously huge amounts. So we're changing the way that we interact more and more now. Legal, on the legal side, what's happening, what with Brexit and everything. The legal position is changing. Environmental, what's happening there. So just sort of look at one thing in each of those sectors every day and learn something and write it down. For your own life, you could again have a structure around that. You could be thinking, okay, the body, what have I learned about body and longevity and health today? Let me learn one thing. You could do the same about mindset. What have I learned about emotions and how the brain thinks and works? What have I learned about relationships? So, what can I do to build relationships? Time management is another one. Productivity. Can I learn something about that today? Money, my own money, my investments, looking after and managing my money. Can I learn something about that? Career, what's going on in the career market? Can I have a look in my particular sector and see what the movements are, who the key players are? And what else have we got? So, the areas of contribution. What's if I have a particular passion or a particular thing that I really care about or that really pisses me off, what's going on there? Can I sort of contribute in some way to that? So that's a nice structure to put together as well. So that was really my top tips for today. Just to be more aware of the fact that there are opportunities to learn everywhere. And by doing that and by combining your thoughts on different things, you're going to be very, very unique, because what you go and look at within that structure that I just described, you're going to pick different things out to the things that maybe I would pick out or anybody else would. And then if we were to come back together again and have a talk, we would have very, very different takes and different ideas. And that's what, creates innovation. So be one of those thinkers is what really my message is, because the more you think, the more you combine ideas, the more you learn. Number one, the more valuable you are. Number two, I think just the more stimulated and happy you will be. And number three, the more likely it is that you're going to come up with something which is going to be a really, really fulfilling career, business, or just general project for you. So that's all I really wanted to share with you today. And if you like these lives, then I do daily hints and tips. We send out daily emails. We do various webinars. Obviously, we have the YBMB program. We've got 3 levels of it now. We've got the online on demand, which you can get all of this and more. We can teach you all about body, mind, and business. You're starting your learning journey. So you can go on that. Alternatively, you can be part of the YBMB group program. So you have your peer group, accountability, one-to-ones with me, check-ins with my team. We teach you to train live. Or you may want their private coaching with me, which, there are obviously, there's only one of me, so there's not that many slots, but I do private coach some people. So have a look at the website, yourbodymeansbusiness.com. And if you're interested in that, then there's lots of opportunities for you to get more info. Have a lovely weekend. Nice to talk to you. And whatever you're doing, enjoy.